Evaluate this expression. So instead of writing A, we're going to write 9. Instead of writing B, we're going to write 5. Use the order of operations, 35 plus 9. Well, that's going to be 44 then, isn't it? And that's our answer. Now in question 6, we got to do a little bit of algebra here. We got these two trains, and what we're going to do is we're going to write an expression for each one of those trains. We have an eastbound train, and we have a westbound train. And notice, we're going to use our formula, distance equals rate times time. So the eastbound train travels 12 miles slower than the westbound train. So I'm going to start with the westbound. If the two trains are 800 miles after 4 hours, so the speed of, or the distance of the westbound train, I'm going to go for 4 hours, and I don't know what that speed is. I'll call that R. Now my eastbound train is still going for 4 hours, but it's going 12 miles an hour slower, isn't it? Then if I put them together, because I got one train going to the east, another train going to the west, and I know after 4 hours they're 800 miles apart. So I can say, oh, my distance for my eastbound plus my distance for my westbound, that's going to equal to 800. So in other words, let's solve this. Let's distribute 4r minus 48 plus 4r. Combining like terms, we have 4r plus 4r. Remember, we're on the same side. You do what it says. We get 8r minus 48 equals 800. Then we'll just add 48 to both sides. So 8r equals 848. If I divide by 8, we get what? 106. Now that's the speed, that's R, that's the speed of the westbound train. I didn't ask for the westbound train, I asked for the eastbound train. So my eastbound train is going to be 106 minus 12. And 106 minus 12 is 94 miles per hour. These must be high-speed trains. Now let's take a look at question 7. I want you to get G by itself. So to get G by itself, I want to get rid of everything that isn't G. So let's get rid of the fraction on the outside first. The inverse operation divided by 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Remember, when you're solving for a variable, you're not really solving, you're just rearranging. So I get 3f. Here my 3 is reduced, and I get G plus H minus K. Well, let's get rid of the things that aren't G. So I'm going to subtract H from both sides. Notice there's no H on the left-hand side, so I'm just going to write 3f minus H equals G minus K, because my H's reduce out. Then I'll add K to both sides. So G is 3f minus H plus K. And there we have G by itself, which is what I wanted you to solve. That's all we got to do in that one. Now if we take a look at question 8, the length of a rectangle is 5 times its width. And we're given the area. So we should know the formula for area is length times width. Now, the length is 5 times the width. So I'm going to define the width to be x. The length is 5x. And so when I do this, I'm going to say 405 equals 5x times x. I can simplify the right-hand side. X times x is x squared. So you divide by 5. 405 divided by 5 gives me 81 equals x squared. Remember, the inverse operation of square is square root, so x is 9. That's the width. I didn't ask for the width. I asked for the perimeter. So we know the width is 9, so 5 times 9 is 45. That's my length. So if I think here, my perimeter, I'm going to add up the sides. I'm going to take 2 times 45, because we have 2 sides of 45. Well, that's 90. Plus 2 times 9, well, that's 18. So we get 108 centimeters. Our perimeter is not measured in squares. Area is measured in squares, so we just get 108 centimeters for that question.